Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Denise Tropia, and I'm a podiatrist. I've been here for 25 years here in town practicing, and yes, I've seen my share of diabetic wounds and otherwise. So today I have the pleasure of telling you about this product that was just launched May 1 of this year. And who I have in the room with me is Kim. She's the medical representative. And then Miss Savignon, Annabelle Savignon. She is one of the owners of the company. And this is Justin, who is our marketing manager. Okay, I think we have everyone here. And I'm their medical spokesperson. Okay, and so what we're going to talk about today is the main product, the D-Care as it's called. We do have other product line. Some are not here yet in the United States, but the D-Care is here. So a little bit about the history of the company. Lavior, founded in 2013, skincare company with R&D development that was done in Israel. And it develops, manufactures, markets the high-tech skincare products to treat dermatological problems as well as the wound care line. It discovered that with the extract is called Inula viscosa. And this extract is a medicinal herb that is grown in Israel. And Lavior extracts and formulates the proprietary blends of the product line, and then a cosmetic company will then formulate it together. And they are hypoallergenic, dermatological tested, sensitive skin, all natural, no parabens, no cortisones, none of the other artificial preservatives that can give you the skin reactions, so to speak. So grown, harvested, extracted, this is all done in Israel. And then it grows its own chemotype. There's many, many different species of Inula viscosa, and we have this certain species that does the job, being an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibacterial, antifungal. So it's kind of like that whole vast majority of what we're looking for when we're looking for something to heal. And the proprietary blends is what you'll see in the pamphlets. So a little bit about the mechanism of action. The whole idea is that it reduces inflammation. As we see in the inflammatory phase of wound healing, inflammation can be very much exaggerated. And what do we see with chronic wounds? We see exaggerated inflammatory phase, and then it becomes a chronic wound. Then you have the biofilm, the slime, and what are we doing for months and months? Trying to heal the wound. So with the research that was done in Israel, we see that cytokines, such as the NF-gamma-B and the STAT1, which were cytokines that were studied, they show that Inula downregulates these cytokines from exploding and causing this inflammatory process to be over-exaggerated. And then also COX-2, so it's a COX-2 inhibitor. So COX-2, maybe you think of like Celebrex, things like that, but that's exactly what it does. It takes that inflammatory type inhibitor, inflammatory type enzymes, COX-2, and makes it an inhibitor. So that's kind of the mechanism of action. Expression of these proteins are downregulated, so thus you can increase the healing process. You can start the healing process a lot shorter, and that's what we're seeing. So in a chronic wound, we see prolonged inflammatory phase, as I had said, biofilm results, it's slow to heal. So what do we try to do? We try to do certain things in order to get that inflammatory phase, to stop that to a degree and then get on to healing. And it's capable of disrupting biofilm. I've read numerous articles in which they talk about even disrupting the biofilm in the mouth. And when they disrupt biofilm in the mouth, they're able to get, and they use an Inula extract for that. So when they disrupt biofilm, they're able to get the gum disease to improve, because that's the main thing. So I think biofilms have been around a long time, but you know as well as I, in the last few years, it's become such a hot topic, because they're realizing that years ago when I was treating wounds, let's slap some Silvadene, let's slap some this and that, but nothing was happening. They were still just, you know, and then they smell bad. Well, maybe we'll have them soak in some vinegar, or maybe we'll have them, you know. But now we're realizing that if we can attack the biofilm and we can disrupt all that, then we can get somewhere. So these case studies is what we've chosen. And so here we have, this is a 61-year-old diabetic male. Can you see?
Is there a glare?
Maybe, yeah. Is that a little better?
Is that better?
You can see? So you can see a 61-year-old diabetic male with an ulceration with an eschar sub-fifth on his right foot. And it looks pretty murky, and it's got that eschar over it. So I know, you know, certain things that I would think of using right away on this, but now I've gone to using Lavior, the majority of my patients. And what I then tend to see after about a couple weeks is some beefy red tissue. I see it just that the circulation is better. And I think that has to do with the penetrability of the annula. And I have read articles too that show how it does penetrate into the deeper dermal layers to help heal from the inside out. So if it's stimulating circulation, it's decreasing inflammation, it's acting as an antioxidant, antifungal, etc., then that's what's happening. So after 3 weeks' time, we do see improvement with it. So that's one case study. This one is a 57-year-old diabetic male who underwent a transmetatarsal amputation, front of the foot cut off, as you've seen numerous times. And we do know that that stump can a lot of time dehiss, which, you know, it doesn't make my day, but it does happen. And when the stump starts to open up and dehiss, and here you are left with a wonderful ulcer there, you have to say, okay, now what do we do? So we have to start wound care treatment, maybe have to take them back and do a revision, which sometimes I don't like to do because then we're giving them a shorter stump and could cause problems. But we're trying to do whatever we can for limb salvage. And then what we do see is after 4 weeks, we see it's smaller, granular base.
It's the light. I think it's the light.
Yeah. Okay, good. And then as we can see that it's getting better after 4 weeks' time. Once again, we're seeing that that inflammatory phase can be shortened because of this is what the science is telling us, that it's been done. So if we can see that, then I know that we can definitely make a difference with helping to get these wounds to heal up a lot faster. Maybe as like first-line agent, or now that I've been using this since it's been launched here, now I'm using it as, you know, like, okay, let's try this because nothing else seems to be working. As well as we know that we have to get the blood sugar in better control, and, you know, we know all the other factors, circulation, etc., making sure there's no bone infection. But once we know that, we have to really try to, you know, heal this wound accordingly. So I've been very excited about these products that have been launched because I definitely feel that this herb is very powerful in that respect. And our last a case study Kim is going to do, since she has had some personal interaction with the patients.
This is a 34-year-old farmer in Willow Springs, California. He obviously has a very large ulcer on the bottom of his left foot. The doctor had told him they had won six months on this, 7 different antibiotics, 6 different creams that this man has went through. A doctor finally said, you know what, we are at amputation time. We're into the bone now. There's nothing more we can do. So his friend is a friend of mine, and he called me and said, what is the product you guys are using? What's happening with it? And I told him, and he says, well, it can't help. I mean, it can't hurt. So we went down to California. I've been down there every week since. And on week 1, this is visually what I saw when I unwrapped the gentleman, and we're doing a saline wash twice a day and applying the D-Care twice a day. And we have gotten some very nice results. On the week 4, you're seeing it ooze right there. The doctor he went into the doctor for his normal routine visit in the wound clinic, and he had all the biofilms and everything that were just kind of hanging out on the edge, because what we're seeing the Enola do is healing from the inside out. So it's pushing everything, all the nastiness out. So the doctor says, well, we need to abbreviate it. So they did, and it caused some good oozing there, but as you can see, you're looking at the nice pink texture, the minimized sore there. It is beautiful. And today he is actually going back to his doctor again today. It is actually smaller, he's reporting. So we will, and I was hoping to get the pictures before we got here to you guys, but I'm sorry we don't have it. But the doctor is so impressed, the wound clinic down there in California, they're like, okay, what are y'all doing? So I sent them this presentation along with our info. And not only has it done that, this gentleman on day 1 when I got there, I kind of done this number on his leg with a pencil. He didn't feel anything. He could not feel anything. And I thought, well, maybe it's because he's looking at me and maybe he's just, you know. So I had him lay back and kind of close his eyes, and I did it on his one leg, and he felt it. He told me I made an S pattern. So I did it on the wound, the left side, did it again. He had no idea what I was doing. The 3rd week when I went back in, I did the same thing, and he's like, oh my gosh, I felt that. Well, by the next night or the night before, 2 nights later, he calls me and he was like, I feel everything. I'm in so much pain, I don't know what to do. So the Enola actually woke up his nerves. So it's not only kicked out the anti-inflammatory, it's healing it from the inside out. It's waking up the nerves that were obviously damaged, and it's truly been a blessing for this gentleman, because in another week or 2, I highly think that we were going to be on the road to well recovered. And his doctor is down in same belief as that. And Denise, looking at it as a podiatrist, she can tell you just about the healing phases that it went through.
Well, yeah, provided everything stays as such, you know, of course, blood sugar in good control. And also they've been doing some compression on him to help. And that's probably a factor too. You know, the edema, I'm sure you deal a lot with that, trying to control the edema in order to help heal as well in that. And that helps too, controlling the edema, making sure that his blood sugar is in good control, making sure, you know, so I guess all those factors. But what we do see is that when you are there having a viable bed, a nice red granular bed, and you're seeing something going on. How many times, you know, we see these patients, nothing's going on. It's like, okay, what do we do to jumpstart this thing? And then we go into our chest of, you know, different things. And that's, you know, that's where we're all at with wound care a lot of times. So when we have something that's a go-to, and I've even used it on myself with just like little cuts and this, and it's just amazing the way you see it almost within a day or so start to scab up. So we know that we're starting that healing phase a lot quicker. So I think this is where, you know, the take-home message is getting rid of that inflammation, and then also acting like antifungal, antibacterial, because we know all the bacteria, everything that grows in these things, it's a you know, bacterial party here, and fungal party as well. So you know, that does help.
And the inflammation on this particular patient, he's a larger man, and when I went in on the initial visit, I had told him, we have to have your blood sugar under control. For any of this to balance out, you know, we got to heal you from inside out. And he was absolutely, did exactly what his doctor put him on, all the regimens that he was on. His blood sugars finally stabilized through this whole thing. We had stable blood sugars, but his leg in the beginning was the size of 3 legs, and I'm not even exaggerating.
Well, that was probably why he couldn't feel anything either. With all the edema that he had, he probably could not feel.
The D-Care you guys are looking at is actually in this one.
Yes.
This is the pamphlet, the green one you guys have in your hand is more towards the dermatologist side of it. But it's, yeah, it goes a long way. Like he was using this particular one right here, the 30 mils, and it was lasting him for almost 3 weeks, doing it twice a day, packing it as you can see.
It really doesn't have much.
Yeah, there's no order.
It sounds a little like this, like honey almost.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's a little bit on the viscous side in that way respect.
But I had a cold sore. Annabelle had a cold sore. And
oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
I saw you on Tuesday, and now it's
3
gone.
days.
And now it's gone.
Did you use the lip thing? The lip
Actually, we did it because we don't have that.
The lip one?
The purple one, yes.
But that's not the one we used. That's the one she used.
That's the one I used.
I used the actual D-Care because she had that sample at her home because, of course, she's the maker of all this wonderful stuff. But I had the D-Care at home in my sample, and that's what I used. But the ingredients are clear on the bottle. It's 100% natural. I mean, we've taken, the FDA kept asking them, why aren't we going prescription, da-da-da-da. And Annabelle and Galad's choice was, we're not putting all the garbage in there. We know what it does. We know it works. We're staying natural. So they fought their way to bring it to us as a natural
So how do the
product.
patients get it?
We have a website. You can call me. We can leave a sample with you, like that one right there, because you guys are a wound clinic. I always leave my 100 mils with wound clinics. For the patients, if you guys want to carry it in-house, we're more than welcome to supply you with what you need at a remarkable discount as well to the doctors.
So no insurance would cover that?
No. We decided to stay off of that way. To keep it.
And what's the cost?
Yeah.
That one is $59, but for the actual wound clinic to carry it, we're doing 30%, so it's $17 off, so $42.
Okay.
And how many treatments does, well it depends on the size of the wound.
Exactly.
Well, okay, so in his case, we were doing him twice a day, and his wife wasn't just putting it on the wound. I had her put it up to the knee because the swelling and the inflammation was so bad. I said, I don't care if I have to come back down and bring you more, whatever happens, we want it from knee down. And so that's exactly what she did. She rubbed it from knee down, packed the wound as you can see, and then twice a day. That one bottle lasted him 2.5 weeks. So as you just saw, a little does go a long way. So on a normal...
Well, I have a patient, hers is started out at about 3 centimeters, and so I would say it lasted her, I gave it to her before we launched, let's say mid-April, so about 2 months, because next time I see her, I'm going to give her some more, I have some more for her. So I would say, and she's using it once a day, so about a couple months for, and now it's probably about half the size.
But if you guys have some patients in mind, and you guys are like on board and willing to try it with, we have some littler samples that they could actually take home with them so that you guys can use the main in here in the office and then send them home with that. That was the only thing. He wasn't on any more antibiotics. He wasn't on any type of cream. It was only the Anula that did this and all the previous studies beforehand. We did not have them do anything else because we wanted to see what's true and if it was exactly doing what we thought it was going to do. And it is. It's been remarkable.